terror wears it out. Our courage never felt. Draw water from my well, I'm purified. Burning on my brain, it's chemical. Never been afraid, I'm terrified now. I have the fear as an antidote. Gotta raise my blade up, gotta raise a break, break, break through the fetters and the chains. I see my mind's eye blind to the days. Take, take what they never give away. I find the peace at the price of the pain. Dead eyes go blind in a million sockets. This life's unkind and she's killing the softest. Can't sleep at night cause the voices are talking about something I wrote. I'm clutching my throat, gasping for air, I won't choke. I can't bleed, I can't die, I won't scream if I lose everything. Don't follow the flesh, approve of the crypt. A bloody knuckle till I break out the sarcophagus. This terror wears it out. Our courage never felt. Draw water from my well, I'm purified. Burning on my brain, it's chemical. Never been afraid, I'm terrified now. I have the fear as an antidote. Gotta raise my blade up, gotta raise a break, break, break through the fetters and the chains. I see my mind's eye blind to the days. Take, take what they never give away. I find the peace at the price of the pain. Burning on my brain, it's chemical. Never been afraid, I'm terrified now. I have the fear as an antidote. Gotta raise my blade up, gotta raise a break, break, break through the fetters and the chains. I see my mind's eye blind to the days. Take, take what they never give away. I find the peace at the price of the pain. White heart for the saddest. I break bread with the guilt and the damage you did. Took the cards all on the chromatic, yeah. I find the grace at the cost of a limb. Tear the bone from the breakage. Caught up in a lot of drama, then they couldn't save us. And like a sword that's been forged in the furnace, I need the hate to refine my purpose. This terror wears it out. Our courage never felt. Draw water from my well, I'm purified. Burning on my brain, it's chemical. Never been afraid, I'm terrified now. I have the fear as an antidote. Gotta raise my blade up, gotta raise a break, break, break through the fetters and the chains. I see my mind's eye blind to the days. Take, take what they never give away. I find the peace at the price of the pain. Dead eyes go blind in a million sockets. This life's unkind and she's killing the softest. Can't sleep at night cause the voices are talking about something I wrote. I'm clutching my throat, gasping for air, I won't choke. I can't bleed, I can't die, I won't scream if I lose everything. Don't follow the flesh, approve of the crypt. A bloody knuckle till I break out the sarcophagus. This terror wears it out. Our courage never felt. Draw water from my well, I'm purified. Burning on my brain, it's chemical. Never been afraid, I'm terrified now. I have the fear as an antidote. Gotta raise my blade up, gotta raise a break, break, break through the fetters and the chains. I see my mind's eye blind to the days. Take, take what they never give away. I find the peace at the price of the pain. Still blazing. Try to break my will so I won't change. I'm changing. Too much, but I can't keep still. Fight for the ones who saved me. I'm bleeding red like the ones we're saving. I'm not breaking. Catching up like to see me jet-lagged. Hear the whisper on the wind, we're all alone. Bad fire on my back like a jetpack, 'cause I don't wanna see the ash before it snows. Let me unravel. My arms are shattered, but I can't lose this battle. It's all I am. Pass me the torch, still blazing. Try to break my will so I won't change. I'm changing too much, but I can't keep still. Fight for the ones who save me. I'm bleeding red like the ones we're saving. I'm not breaking. You're catching up to the power I'm chasing. Fight the pain in the back of my eyes. They're fixed on the far off horizon. And if I'm gonna go up in flames, then at least I'll still be rising. I guess I'm caustic, but I don't really notice all these toxins before they start exploding. There's my options, I only see the line, I don't cross it way too often. Let me unravel. My arms are shattered, but I can't lose this battle. It's all I am. Pass me the torch, still blazing. Try to break my will so I won't change. I'm changing too much, but I can't keep still. Fight for the ones who save me. I'm bleeding red like the ones we're saving. I'm not breaking. You're catching up to the power I'm chasing. can't decay. No, feel the fury inside, try to bury my pride, but I'll rob the grave. Death, become my blade. horse and the hilt's already fading. Leather in my grip, I never miss my swing. River running red from the dead, escaping. Heaven or hell, take the land between. And I bear this weight that I'm under, and no force could tempt a kneel. I bend for honor only, know this seal, it's not real. This shattered will define a spirit burning and honest. My demons paralyzed, terrified. They branded sacrifice, so tarnished early and often. My fury justified. Sealed up my fate and read the embers of silence. My blade remembers. Temper my crown, yeah. I wield what can't decay. No, feel the fury inside. Try to bury my pride, but I'll rise the grave. My skin to stone, my flesh to onyx. This gravity is daunting. The poison breath, this blind death cannot infect my conscience. Cause I've been here before. Bloodstained wounds on altar.
Hello, all you BC WrestlePod nerds out there, and welcome to another episode of the Biconic Review of Honor, otherwise known as the Bro. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. We are going to be reviewing very shortly this week's Ring of Honor episode 84 from Thursday, October 3rd, 2024, and as you can see right now, I am currently by myself right now, but that is okay because my other co-hosts are running a little bit late, but they will be here shortly, so I'm just here to entertain you for the next couple of minutes. So let's just jump straight into it, get all the housekeeping out of the way to give my co-host time. But if you are new here to this conglomeration of the BC WrestlePod YouTube, Twitch, social media game that we got going on here, hi and welcome. We are a bunch of folks that love professional wrestling and we love talking about it. So we pretty much do something almost every single day of the week. It just happens that today is our Ring of Honor review. But if you want to follow us and keep up with us with all of our shenanigans, you can follow us pretty much on every social media site at BC WrestlePod. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We also have a Patreon. You can also support the channel by tipping us at Venmo, Cash App, whatever you feel like giving us, dollar bill, y'all. And of course, you might be wondering to yourself, where can I find all these social media sites stored in one place? You can check us out at Next Level App. So link will be in the description below, but you can check us out there, give us our social medias, give us a follow and interact with us. Also, you can comment live during our live streams and things like that because, we love to interact with you all. And last but certainly not least, remember, We love having conversations with you, but keep it respectful and keep it cute in the chat. Otherwise, you will be blocked, banned, bamboozled. In the words of Willy Wonka, good day, you lose, sir. Now, before I start the review off really quickly, I just want to showcase what craziness we got going on. We are officially 4 days into the month of October, and just when you think everything is not going to go nuts or crazy or things like that, well, this month is about to get off the chain. So let me showcase what we got going on. So outside of our regular weekly reviews for AEW, WWE, CMLL, ROH, and TNA, we also have a plethora of pay-per-views that we're going to be covering this month. And let me showcase to what we got going on for October. So, if you take a look at the screen right here, this is all of the pay-per-views that we got going on for the month of October. It begins this Monday, October 7th, as the WWE crew will be reviewing Bad Blood, which is happening tomorrow, October 5th. Then on October 14th, which is also a Monday, we will be reviewing AEW's Wrestle Dream. Thursday, October 17th, we, myself, Andrew, and whoever else wants to join us, will be reviewing the next big GCW show, which is a Fight Club Night 1 and Night 2. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Then on Sunday, October 20th, myself, hopefully my TNA co-host Will, and anyone else who finds the time will be doing a live watch-along of Night 2 of Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling's Forged in Excellence, which has a lot of ROH and TNA crossover, which has me super excited. And then you could see the review of both nights of MLP's Forged in Excellence on Thursday, October 24th. So it's going to be a fun one. Then to round out the month of October, on Saturday, October 26th, the TNA trio of myself, Will, and Andrew will be covering TNA's Bound for Glory. We're having a watch along there. And then you could catch the review the following day on Sunday, October 27th. And then rounding out October on Monday, October 28th, we will be reviewing NXT's Halloween Havoc now that the CW is the new home for NXT. And we've already had our first show. The first show is awesome. I'm looking forward to the Tuesday show this upcoming week. And I'm interested to see which matches we get at the pay-per-view. So those are all the PLE reviews and watch-alongs that the spoopy month of October has. And now you have been informed. But now that everything has been said and done, we can start off this Ring of Honor review properly. But first and foremost, I need to bring my lovely co-host to the stage. So you know him, you love him. Hailing from parts unknown, Mr. Diet Dr. Death himself, Jesse is in the house. Hi, Jesse.
I'm here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. I know there was a little bit of a delay, but Mikey kept us filled in with all of the wonderful new things that are coming. I made it. I'm here. Let's talk Ring of Honor.
Sure.
Interesting episode, I'd say.
We have lots to discuss, not just with matches too, but like what we talked about on the social medias earlier today as well, with certain matches being made. But Jesse, before, let us put our hands in, do the code of honor, shake upon it, and let us begin. Because ROH episode 84 kicks off with a 6-man World Tag Team Championship Proving Ground match to open the show, in which we had, our champions, Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs. And our challengers were the Premier Athletes minus Josh Woods. So we had Tony Nese, Arya Daivari. But instead of Josh Woods, we had Smart Mark Sterling. Right. And I'm just like, shenanigans are about to go down. I'm going to be honest. Wrestling-wise, it was fine. It was whatever. But watching Smart Mark get his comeuppance in this match actually made me enjoy this match a little bit more than I should have.
Can we back up just a moment? When did they start going with the moniker the Sons of Texas?
Okay, so here's the thing. So the Sons of Texas, now, because I watch all the things, the Sons of Texas, I originally thought was just exclusively to Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes as their tag team name, because that's how they were introduced when they had the bunkhouse brawl with the Undisputed Kingdom on Collision not too long ago.
So
So
now it's just Dustin and anyone else who's from Texas?
So I think this little faction is Dustin, the Von Erichs, and Sammy, and they all are from Texas. Next thing you'll know, they'll throw the Athena in there, and so.
And Mark
But
Henry.
I mean, you're not exactly wrong. So again, the match itself was fine. Anytime we get a proving ground match, we know pretty much how this is going to end. I should not have enjoyed this as much as I was, but I think the only reason I enjoyed this was the fact that Smart Mark got his butt whooped and he got Dick Kick City at the end there, which was fantastic to watch. But
that was the highlight of the match. Again,
definitely.
Like you had said, the match itself was okay. It was serviceable. We knew it was going to happen before we got there. But seeing Smart Mark finally get a little bit of comeuppance, not enough in my opinion. That made it more enjoyable than if it was just outright.
Yeah, so the Sons of Texas, so Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs do pick up the victory here. Cool, that's great. At least these championships are being on our television screen for ROH. So speaking of championships, right? So we're gonna just get the elephant out of the room, right? Because Ring of Honor didn't wait towards the end of the episode to talk about this, but just to bring in a little bit of some behind the scenes stuff. I do a lot of the social media stuff, so I'm always posting things. I'm always like retweeting. I'm like posting stuff on Instagram. And earlier the day, I had happened to upload a picture to the Instagram about how our ROH World Champion is Mark Briscoe is going to be defending his title next Saturday at AEW's Wrestle Dream. And Jesse, do you want to share your reaction to the folks when you found that out?
Let me bring it up. I'm pretty sure it was rather short. Your we'll talk about that. I just said, why?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I told Jesse that we would talk more about how this came to be. So let me give you the give you the background.
Because I need to know. I need to understand this. I watch Ring of Honor for Ring of Honor. I don't watch AEW and everything else that comes with it. Why are we doing this?
So we're gonna get there, and also what we're gonna talk about afterwards too, because we have another championship match that is gonna end up at Wrestle Dream, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is how this match got made. So for those of you who are not aware, at AEW's Wrestle Dream next Saturday, we are having an ROH championship match. Our champion, Mark Briscoe, is defending his title against the Learning Tree himself, Chris Jericho. How this match came to be literally has been like a 2 to 3 week build. So let me tell you. So for those who've been watching AEW, you know that for the longest time, the Learning Tree has been feuding with the Conglomeration, which is Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy. And now because Ishii is out because he got attacked by the Learning Tree, they have Rocky Romero kind of being their fourth. But the main three of the Conglomeration is Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly. They've been feuding for the longest time. Last week, in a trios match, the Learning Tree picked up the victory by having Mark Briscoe be pinned. So Briscoe was pinned last week. And so this week on AEW Dynamite, Chris Jericho laid out the challenge. Mark Briscoe comes out being his babyface self, says that he'll take on any challengers. But then this is where things went left, because then the promo took a turn and Jericho leaned into poking the bear, and he was being a nasty heel because he brought up Jay Briscoe into this whole entire feud, saying that Mark Briscoe doesn't have the legacy. He can't beat Chris Jericho. Jay could, but his brother never will, nor was he ever going to. And so that set off Mark Briscoe. He attacked Jericho, told him to keep his brother's name out his mouth, and he's going to kick his ass at Wrestle Dream. And thus, that is how we're getting this match at Wrestle Dream. Jesse?
So nice to see a Ring of Honor title being defended on Ring of Honor. Wait a second. Yeah, no, I got that messed up again.
Look, I understand how Jericho has a title match because technically he pinned Briscoe. I don't like the fact that this match is happening at Wrestle Dream, because now the possibility of Chris Jericho taking this title does not make me feel good.
Yeah, and he'd be a 2-time holder because he had it a couple years ago, didn't he?
He literally had it last year, I think, or the year before that.
Okay, well, I mean, we said we wanted the titles on the show. I guess we weren't specific as to which show we wanted the titles on. So that's our mistake. We need to be a little bit more clear with our expectations and our wants.
Well, speaking of our wants too, that's not the only ROH championship that is making its way to Wrestle Dream. This one, and I had a separate conversation with Andrew about this, but they also announced at this point of ROH episode 84 on 0 hour for Wrestle Dream, the ROH World Television Championship will be defended as Atlantis Jr. of CMLL will be defending his championship against this Wolverine, Brian Cage. And I was telling our co-host Andrew about this. I'm rooting so hard for Brian to win this one. I want to see Brian Cage win this title. I love Atlantis Jr. As someone who reviews CMLL, he's fantastic down there. But his title run has been not great because we have not given him an opponent where he can truly showcase himself.
So that's happening on Wrestle Dream.
On 0 hour, yes. So the pre-show.
Okay, so ROH title being defended on pre-show AEW. Okay, that tracks for current history.
So
for them. So I mean, hopefully this Wolverine wins, and maybe he'll be the one who can actually show up and be there. I would like that, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Jesse, we are getting our ROH championships defended, but we should probably start being more specific of where we're going with all of it.
Well, let's move on. What do we have next on the night?
So after we got these announcements for the matches themselves, we get into our first squash match of the evening, which we have our personal favorite here at the Bro. We have the native beast, Nyla Rose, taking on local talent to Katie Arquette. Needed to make sure she had no relation to David Arquette, which they do not. But I love Nyla. We love Nyla here. Let's utilize her better. Like, this was a fun match. Nyla made quick work of Katie Arquette. And that was the end of that. Like, honestly, there's not much to discuss here. It was like maybe 4 minutes tops.
I was happy to see Nyla back. I was actually really happy to see Katie Arquette as well. I watched some of a friend of the show, Zoe Sky, a couple of her matches from a few years ago, and she put on a really good match with Katie Arquette, and I think it was in Ohio a few years ago. I'll see if I can find you the link and send it to you, Mikey. But I know she could do more than a 4-minute squash match against Nyla Rose. That being said, at least she's getting something out there, and I'm happy to see Nyla Rose back. I'm hoping they do something with her because it's been quite some time.
The crowd is always with Nyla too, so I'm like, you have the power to push Nyla up the card if you wanted to. Let's do more with Oklahoma,
of course.
I mean, yeah. So, but I agree with you. I'm glad to see Nyla on ROH television, and hopefully we get to see more of her as we continue to go on. We then hit our first backstage segment of the evening where we have, the whole entire Mim squad. We have Lexi Nair, Athena, and Billy Starks. And Lexi and Athena are, planning this big old celebration party for Athena. They talk about what kind of foods are going to be there, what kind of accoutrements are going to be there, figure out who's going to be the entertainment. And then both of them notice that Billy is not into the conversation. And so Athena wants to know what Billy's problem is. And this is where we see Billy crack because homegirl just lets it spill like the Niagara Falls because she tells Athena pretty much everything, that Athena wasn't there for her with Abaddon. And, she basically lets Athena have it. And then Athena deepens her heel persona because now it's no longer the cocky, jokey heel. She's like, I'm going to beat you up heel. She's like, you know what, Billy? It sounds like a you problem. Did I lose my television championship? No, Lexi has been helping me. So if you're going to give all this energy, then you can just go home. And me and Lexi got this. And so Billy leaves. which then prompts Athena to send Lexi to go handle it, which then we see Athena talking to herself, and then coming from behind, we see Abaddon, who almost grabs Athena's hair and then kind of is just like lingering in the scene as this backstage segment there. Jesse, the plot thickens. Billy cracked this backstage segment. We are definitely heading towards a Billy versus Athena match at some point for this championship.
Which that was one of my favorite matches we had last year of the entire year. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited they're pushing this story. I sent Billy a message because I watched it and I felt so bad. Like the amount of disrespect in that meme was ridiculous. And I'll say it here, hashtag Team Billy all the way. I am Team Billy all the way. I know it's going to be tough for you because you love them both and you've always been a staunch supporter of Athena, but I'm sorry, I'm Team Billy right here.
I mean, of course, I'm going to be rooting for Billy too, because I love me a good underdog, and Babyface Billy is such a fun character. I've been loving her heel work, but Babyface Billy is probably not the best version, but it allows her, in my opinion, more opportunity. Who knows? I'm pretty sure if they're smart, which is going to be tough, I don't know how you drag it out to December for Final Battle, but definitely they're on a collision course, and I'm super excited for it. Speaking of collision courses, this was a match of epic proportions, no pun intended, because we have a tag team match where we have our favorite new tag team right now, Anthony Henry and his cousin Eve, taking on local talents Anthony Katina and Wes Barkley. I've already expressed how much I love this new tag team of Anthony and Beef. Beef is like a breath of fresh air in a weird way speaking. I think he is super fun. He has a fun character, and he's a fun character who actually can wrestle too. And I cannot wait because, spoiler alert, the internet has told us that at an independent show event, the Workhorsemen will be reunited in a tag team match against FTR. Which means to tell me that means that Anthony Henry must be cleared. So we are eventually going to get JD Drake. Sorry. We are eventually going to get a Beef JD Drake interaction, and I'm so looking forward to it. But as far as this match goes, I actually really liked it. This was more competitive for a regular squash match than we're used to. Anthony Henry does the things. Beef does his beef things. Anthony and Beef pick up the victory. I am never bored when I see this tag team on my screen.
I like this match. It was more competitive than I was expecting it to be, and Anthony Henry is growing on me. I know that we have some other co-hosts who are still have some reservations around it, which I'm fine. His work's always been great. His in-ring work. I'm really looking forward to see the dynamic between JD Drake and Beef and how that goes, because it's either going to be like you're trying to replace me, or they can go the frenemy route, or it can go like immediate bromance route, and Anthony Henry is going to find himself out of the Workhorsemen at that point.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting dynamic, and who knows? All three of them might stick together, and we can get a new trio, which I would not be upset with either. But
as long as we start using the trios and get the trio titles relevant.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about it at the beginning. In my opinion, as long as those 6-man tag team championships are stuck on Dustin and the Von Erichs, who knows what's going to happen. I have a little more faith in Sammy and Dustin as our ROH tag team champions, but we need to start bringing in the 6-man tag championships, in more relevancy.
For this one?
No, so like for the last couple of weeks, we've been traveling around. We've been out of Texas for like the last 3 or 4 episodes, I think.
I think this is the first time I've seen the Von Erichs outside of Texas,
which is crazy. So they must not be cursed to stay there in Texas only.
They broke the barrier.
They really did. But from here, we get into our tag team match, and outside of this was my favorite match of the episode because, oh my gosh, we actually brought back, a few that we thought we left behind because we have
confused what they're doing with this, but
I don't know. But we have the infantry taking on the Outrunners. Let me tell you, did you hear that crowd for the Outrunners? They are so over. I love them so much. And you know what? This was hard for me Jesse, because I love the Outrunners, but I also love the infantry too. Like, this was tough for me to watch. I'm like, somebody's gonna lose. This was a really fantastic match. I think this is probably, and not to say that their other matches have been bad, but I think this is like the most serious I've seen the infantry when they're doing tag team stuff, which is great. And I gotta say, I think this is the best that I've seen the Outrunners too. This was a fantastic bout.
This is a great match. It's very rarely that I have a match of the night that's a tag match. But this was my match of the night just because the crowd was so into it too. And I like when it feels like the community is just behind it. Like, it doesn't matter who wins. This is going to be a good match. This is a good part of the show. And you'll hear me say a lot of times when I just don't care about a match or, I don't like the people involved. You'll hear me say, I'm pretty sure somebody's got a recording of me saying it roughly 8,642 times. Can they both lose? This was one of those where it's like, I want them both to win. Like, I wouldn't have minded a schmoz ending with the Iron Sausages coming out, and it wouldn't have been very satisfying, but it wouldn't have been a loss for both of them.
I know, but ultimately, and it makes sense, but I was also still kind of surprised that the Outrunners pick up the victory here and they beat the infantry. But what's even more interesting, though, is afterwards, it takes a little bit, but the infantry shake the Outrunners' hands, but then they immediately dip. I was like, and commentary did a good job, Ian of Capri, saying that, the infantry are starting to get frustrated. So could we potentially see a heel infantry, or at least more leaning towards that direction? We're going to have to keep watching ROH to find out. But again, this was my match of the night. Outrunners are fantastic. Infantry is fantastic. Both teams did an amazing job. Good job, boys. We love us here at BC WrestlePod. Love you both. But, speaking of things that I love, we get our second backstage segment of the evening in which we have Beef calls the camera over like he's about to cut this promo. But before he even cuts the promo, he tries to get Anthony Henry to be in it. And Anthony has just finished being on the phone. And so we don't even get a promo. The cameraman got called over to watch this whole exchange unfold because, Beef brings up the point that Anthony and him are 3-0 in the tag team division. So according to the ROH rules, they're 2 more away from getting a championship shot. But Anthony is not having it. He's like, I have the record of 3-0 and you've just been along for the ride. And then Beef brings up, when can I meet JD? Anthony says, not in your chances of meeting him are 1,000,001, not happening. And so Anthony walks away. Beef looks sad, which made me sad for a little bit. And then Beef got right back with us. So what you're saying is there's a chance. He's like, yo, Anthony, wait up, as he goes off camera. Beef is so great, Jesse.
So
I love him. He's so good. He's so much fun. And again,
he'd be fun to if we could get in touch with him, he'd be fun to invite on the show.
Yeah. The problem is as we found out, minus some other folks, it's really tough to get these AEW ROH folks to speak freely because they are signed with the company. We got lucky
AEW, yes, but ROH, they're a little more lenient.
That is very true, as we saw with Miss
We were able to talk with Billy, we were able to talk with AR Fox.
So it's really, really tough for sure. But again, Beef is fantastic. If we could figure out a way to interview him just for fun or even just have him do something, it'd be fantastic. Beef, we love you here and we're putting it out in the universe. We will find a way to interview you because you are fantastic. So Jesse, this was not on the card originally when I posted the card for this episode, and I didn't find out about this until we watched the episode. This next part was weird because Ian and Caprice take us back in time in ROH history, where we saw the full entire match of Samoa Joe versus Japanese wrestling legend Kenta Kobashi. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, so as a wrestling historian, I love this because I think it's important for people to look at the history, especially with companies. But also, I sat here while I was watching this match, I was like, why is this here? Why are we watching this? Ian and Caprice tried, and bless their hearts, they tried to connect this because Wrestle Dream for AEW was originally created by New Japan owner, and may God rest his soul because he passed away not less than a year ago, but Anthony Inoki, who made Wrestle Dream to be, wrestlers of different backgrounds and creeds like colliding with each other in phenomenal matches. And so Ian Caprice tried to type that in. I was like, boys, you tried very, very hard. But this was blatantly AEW product placement, if you will, to hype up Wrestle Dream. So that got me mad. But I watched this match and I was like, damn, this is a slobber knocker. Like, this is great. Joe continues to be amazing even in the past. And you know what? This is my first real time watching Kenta Kobashi. I thought this was a really great match. And man, these men killed each other. They were slapping the shit out of each other. Those chops look devastating. I was just like, but why is it here though?
The match was great. It was also great 22 years ago.
I was like, why are we here?
Have it here now? Like, this is the first time that since I've been watching for over a year that Ring of Honor has done like, oh, let's do a clip show. We're running out of product. We're running out of what to do. Let's do a clip show. Like, no, that's not like I was. If I wanted to see this match, I'd go on YouTube and find it. I was very frustrated because of all the other talent that we have that didn't get shown last night. And all the time we wasted in not building to the next pay-per-view with having this video on there.
And this match went long, Jesse. This was
27 minutes.
This was the longest match of the whole episode, which is wild. Because when I saw it was an hour and a half episode, I was like, oh, okay, we'll probably get like 6 or 7 matches. And technically we did, but a rewind match was not on my bingo card. I was like, huh? What are you doing, ROH? What is We are getting very close to a clip show, and TNA had to do a clip show this week because their original tapings last week got canceled because of the hurricane, but they have an excuse. ROH, you have no excuse. You could have gave us like 1 or 2 more matches. Give us more women's matches. The fact that we only had 1 this episode made me mad, Jesse. I was like, where are the women?
Mm-hmm. And it was a squash match.
It's frustrating for sure. But Kenta Kobashi ends up beating Samoa Joe. Again, this was a phenomenal match. As a wrestling historian, I think it's important to view these. But as somebody who is currently watching the current ROH product, this felt so out of place for the flow of the episode. And then we immediately get into our main event after this because randomly we have an ROH World Championship match where Mark Briscoe is defending his title against, one half of the Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven. Which, I'm not going to be mad. I love me some Matt Taven. And I've always loved Matt Taven, but I love him anymore because didn't know he was Puerto Rican. So I got to support all the Latinos here.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So side note, AEW put out a video to celebrate the Latino Heritage Month, which goes from September 15th to October 15th. I know it's a really weird, month or whatnot. And, of course, we had like Commander, who represent Mexico. I learned that Red Velvet is also Latina as well, too. And she speaks phenomenal Spanish. And then I learned that Matt Taven was Puerto Rican. So I loved it. Now, again, I knew on paper this match was going to be good. And it was good. My issue, though, as we previously talked about, anytime we see our champions defend their titles out of the blue, we're doing this with no build. Matt Taven didn't do anything to kind of earn this shot. He didn't pin Mark Briscoe. He didn't beat him like in a non-title match. He didn't beat him in a proving ground match. But it was, to me, I was like, we're just throwing a championship match because, let's get the crowd hyped and let's make it happy. The match itself was good. I just hate how we booked it. And could we be seeing a face Undisputed Kingdom? Because they were very face at the end of this, celebrating with Mark Briscoe.
It's possible. I mean, I never take these matches seriously. They're not going to do a title change like this. They've shown us that time and time again. So as enjoyable as the match was, it wasn't something that I took seriously, which isn't good when it's a title shot.
I know. It's super frustrating for sure. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, and we're getting Jericho versus Briscoe at Wrestle Dream. I'm like, why?
I knew they were why announce that if Matt Taven's going to be the champion here?
I know. Again, we need to figure out how we're doing these pre-tape schedules because honestly, ROH, this is what's killing you. There is a way to do pre-tape, but make it make sense for what you're building to. And you have unless you decide to put one more pay-per-view and to have a cycle of 4 instead of a cycle of 3, you literally have October and November and pretty much all of December you have 3 whole months to start building to your final pay-per-view of the year and final battle. You have 3 months. Are we going to do it? I don't know. Probably not. I'm so upset. Alrighty. Jesse, we reached the end of this episode. Let's give our empanada ratings. I'm mad at myself because I actually really enjoyed last week's episode.
This week was great.
Last week was fantastic. And, outside of, getting to see Anthony Henry in beef, as well as our favorite match, the Infantry and the Outrunners, there was nothing else on this episode. It was... As JVL would say, this was remnants of the cutting room floor of what was left, and they try to stitch it together to make it a coherent episode.
But they're running out, hence they had to pull from 22 years ago.
I guess, and because of that, I'm giving this week's ROH like a 5 out of 10. Like, it wasn't horrible, but it does nothing. Last week was fantastic. I gave it a 7 last week, but I got to give this week a 5 because you took my feelings and you ran it into the ground. How
took advantage of my feelings. How dare you? The audacity.
How dare you?
For me, this was a 4. And the best way I can kind of explain this somewhat concisely is, Mikey, have you ever had a wish sandwich?
What's a wish sandwich, Jesse?
So a wish sandwich happens when you grow up in not the best socioeconomic status, but it's where you have 2 pieces of bread and you wish you had something in the middle. That's what this was. It was a wish sandwich.
Damn, that's wild. I can't disagree with you there, too. ROH, I'm mad at you. Like Maxine Waters, I want to reclaim my time because I gave you kudos last week and then you just took a massive step on all over it. And I'm so upset with you. Am I going to still watch you? Yes, because we're covering this. But ROH, you have 3 months. Do better next week because I want to talk good things about you like we did last week. Last week was fantastic, and then you ruined it. But regardless of this week not being so great, Jesse, I appreciate you being here, and I don't want to do this without anybody else. So I'm happy that you are by my side for now. And so thank you for being here and suffering through this week's ROH with me.
This makes it, being able to talk with you about it makes it worth the drudgery this week kind of was.
It definitely was. This week has also, been weird for BC WrestlePod in general because, funny enough, this is the only show that we reviewed this week because everybody else is either busy or got the sickness, and not the great kind. So it's flu season, y'all. It's like, wash your hands, get your shots. Like, we cannot be going down out here. So knock on wood, everything's going good for me so far. Hopefully I don't get sick, but in the line of work that I do, I work with gremlins, so wash your hands, children.
36 Petri dishes that report to you.
For reals. But that is going to be it for this week's Bro. There will be no TNA review tonight because it is just a clip show. As the hurricane kind of stopped the taping, so TNA taped their stuff yesterday and the day before, but need to edit it as we lead to Bound for Glory. Yes, Jesse.
You get to eat dinner at a reasonable hour.
Right? And so I'm probably going to end up watching CMLL in a little bit after this. So it's going to be fantastic. There's a pizza
waiting. You can take an hour to yourself. That might be nice, too.
That is also fair. CMLL doesn't start till 8, though. So it's more like a couple hours to myself. Anyways, so me and Jesse are going to get up on out of here. But from us two, well, actually, before Jesse, we got to shake. Because we got to end the bro with our hands. It's fantastic. For myself and Jesse and the rest of the BC WrestlePod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will be back next week for another ROH episode, but until then, sayonara, adios, and Billy Stark's outro. Bleh.